And so I have this cute little project. For those of you who are joining me that have not joined me before, my name is Debbie Chronister, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I am here today to show you how I made these cute little boxes. Speaking of boxes, and they are just, in this one, I think I have some chocolates, of course. I do, I have some of the Hershey nuggets in here, but you could get a whole lot more in there. You could probably get 2 rows of them easily, or change them out and turn them a different way. So this one, did this one a little different than I did the next one, you'll see. So this is, of course, Christmas, and then this one today is a chocolate kind of day. That's always a good, every day is a chocolate kind of day, huh? So anyway, let me show you. This one, I put Hershey Kisses in, but I did it a little different right in here because that one I folded these down. This one I left it up. So if you put something smaller in here that has a risk of falling out, then I would say do it this way. If not, just fold those down inside, trim them off, and fold them down. So I'm going to show you how I did this one because this one's the most difficult. And not that either one of them is really hard. This one was made with Nothing's Better Than stamp set. And then I used the Pattern Party DSP. This one is the the dog Christmas paper, and I can't think of the name of it. But I just love this Pool Party here, and I love Pool Party and Red together. Okay, so we're going to do this right from the beginning, so you guys will have all the measurements and know how I did it. And I will put all the measurements on my blog for you. I'm going to start with Pool Party. That's what I'm going to use for my box base this time. And I'm going to just cut this at 2 inches. And I'm going just a hair less than 2 inches because I am going to use a punch, and the punch is designed for 2 inch. And then I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to score. How about that? I'm not going to cut. I'm going to score at 5 inches. And I should be using my stylus, huh? My Take Your Pick tool. Here we go. There, we'll use that because that's what I should be using. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I like to do this because it gives me a better score. It's just a little heavier than the blade is. And then I'm going to score here at 6. So the first one was 5 and the second one is 6. Okay, then I'm going to be noisy. So I'm going to slide this into my punch, and this punch is still available through our catalog, and it's in our annual catalog. There aren't too many punches in there anymore. And just punch those 2 ends. And that is the beginning of our box. Okay, so now I'm going to take the rest of my paper here, and I'm going to cut a piece that is 6 inches by 4 3/4. So there's my 4 3/4. That over there by 6. Okay, on this one, with the 6 inches at the top, I'm going to score at 1 inch, and I'm using this 1 inch over here because that to me is just the easier one to use. So I'm going to score at 1 inch, and then at 5 inches. So I have to turn my paper around here so I get 5 inches. I could have just done 1 inch on each end, couldn't I? That would have been just as easy. Okay, and then I am going to turn it so I have my 4 3/4 inch at the top, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch for my first one. And then I'm going to flip it around just because I like to use that little 1/2 inch. It gives me ability to push my paper all the way up and be sure that it's up when I'm doing those little scoring. Otherwise, it's here, and I just always worry that I don't have it up all the way, especially once I close the door. Okay, so now we're going to go 1 1/2 inches and 3 1/4 and 4 1/4 is our last one. Okay, now I'm done with that. So I am going to take my bone folder, and I'm going to burnish all my score lines first of all. give them a nice crisp score, edge. That's what I want, a nice crisp edge. Okay, now I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to cut up from the ends. Just straight up. Let's get those flat so it'll cut easier. Okay. Now, this is where it gets tricky. So what I want to do is I want to adhere this to the outside of my box right there, just like that. Because then when I fold it over onto here, it's going to be hidden inside, just like that. So I am going to use green glue. It's going to take a little longer for it to dry, but it will be well worth it. So I'm going to go to the inside, put some glue here, and I'm going to fold it over onto that flap. I just want that to go nice and even. I want it to, actually, you know what? I'm going to go back and I'm going to trim this a little bit, just at a little wedge on that edge to give it some play so that it will lay down nice and flat in there, and that's not going to show or if it's uneven, but it's more important that it's even here, okay, that I'm nice and firm there. So I'm going to just trim all 4 of those. So on those little tiny flaps, just cut out a little wedge, just like that. Make sure you cut it out of the flap and not out of the other piece. So you don't want to cut it out of this one. You're going to cut it out of that little, the smallest one. Okay. All right, my first one is stuck. Okay, let's do the other end now. So I'm just going to put that on here. Fold it over onto there. So you see what it's doing? It's going to create that part across the top. And just want to make sure that's nice and firm. Okay, so we'll do that to all 4 of them. I think that one just popped off. I didn't hold it long enough. That's okay, we'll get it back on. It's harder working in the air. If I put it down, it would be easier. Okay, let's put this one back in. So I want to make sure that this is really on the edge of this piece of paper. And that's what that, cutting that wedge out just gives me room to be able to do that. And a little flexibility. If you find you're running into a problem, you could even trim that. So we're going to. I'm going to trim this a little bit in here, just to put a little wedge there as well. So that probably, I probably should have done that before when it was flat and easier to trim. But I want this one to line up nice, and the other one didn't line up quite as well as this one will. Okay, so just trim that little bit. So you're not going to trim the center area. You're trimming the part that goes inside. And just like that. Okay, that will give us a little bit more flexibility in where we place that. Okay, you see now we'll be okay. So now I'm going to put some glue on here. You could use tear and tape. I want to use the glue because it gives me a little more flexibility when I'm putting my box together. So if it doesn't quite line up the way I want, I can move it a little bit. Let's see, that came out really nice. There. I'm going to go to the other end. So I'm putting the glue on this part, on the end piece there for the inside. like that. Just want to line it up nice so it covers up whatever's underneath. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put some on this end too. And you have to line these up together, kind of. Whoops, put them in together. Come on, cooperate with me. There we go. One end's in, the other end pops out. Okay, let's just go like that. It was easier to do it without this little extra tab. It was easier, so what I did on the first one is I just tucked that little tab down in, and I could have even trimmed these off in here so that they were smaller and they ended up end to end, but that will work. Okay, so let's finish up our front. So then I needed one more piece of paper. So I need a piece of designer paper for my front, and that is going to be at 1 7/8 by 4 7/8. And that one I'm also going to punch with the punch. And I'm just going to center it between those two because this is designed for a 2-inch. So I just want to center it in there. And if you need to turn it over and look, you can. And we've got it. Put that over there. Okay, let's get this on the front. This is one of my favorite papers. When I saw this out of this pack, when I saw this print, I just fell in love with it. It was like, that is me. That pink and green. I just love it. Okay, so there we are. Let's put our box inside. And I am going to anchor this one down here as well. Okay, so I just want to line that up and pull this up. And we are set. We're just going to let that dry a little bit. And we're going to work on our outside. Okay, so I am using, let's find something to set on that that's not too heavy. There. Okay, so I am using the Whimsical Trees. And this is one of the greetings. And I'm going to stamp that in my basic black. My Memento black, how about that? My Tuxedo Memento ink. And it says, may the love of the season warm your, oh, crooked! Wow, that was crooked. Let me go quickly cut another one, hang on. Okay, so what I'm using to cut that, how about that? I'll tell you that. I am using Christmas Season, and it's this die right here. This set of dies is coming through to the new catalog. Or it's coming through. So they are still orderable at this time. And will remain orderable until next Christmas. So let's try it again. See if I can get it straight this time. Boy, that was really crooked. I was trying not to get my head in the camera. So, better. It's a little low, but it's better. Okay. So then I have already stamped 2 of the little holly bunches from this stamp set. And I'm just going to attach those to the front of my box. So I'm going to attach this, gluing it on. And just center that. And then these I'm going to put on with dimensionals. just like that. I think that's just really sweet. And I colored them in Mossy Meadow and Flirty Flamingo and Mint Macaron. So that one's Mint Macaron and Flirty Flamingo. And this one is Mossy Meadow and Flirty Flamingo. Okay, then I have some ribbon. Where did I put my ribbon? Right here. The ribbon is, my ribbon is Just Jade. That's why it doesn't match. Do we have, it's close enough. Is it close enough, guys? It's a ribbon, huh? Just Jade is a little darker, but we don't have a Mint Macaron ribbon, unfortunately, except, let's see. Oh, it's way up high. Okay, let me just click this. We have the gingham. That would be cute. That would match better. Let's try it. So this is our gingham. And it is Mint Macaron, I believe. It could be Soft Succulent. It could be Just Jade. They're all so close in color. Yeah, I think it's something else. I don't think it's Mint Macaron. I think I'm going to have to look. Okay, let me look. Oh, it doesn't say on there. Okay. That's one of the things I really liked about Stampin' Up! Is that the colors, you usually can get ribbons and papers, everything matches. So that's the nice thing about it. We don't have a Mossy Meadow either. Used to be we had ribbons of every color. It was amazing. But it's not that way anymore. That's where Whisper White comes in, right? Because this isn't looking good. I think it's too cutesy. Let's see. Give me some ideas, guys. Tell me, what ribbons should I use? Oh, I know. How about a shimmery white? Maybe that would be good. It's very plain. It's a neutral color. It's shimmery. So that kind of goes with the gold. And you won't even hardly see it. It has a little bit of pink speckle in it. So let's do that. Okay, so today is the last day to sign up as a demonstrator for $75. It is such a great deal, guys. If you are not, if you have any questions or you're interested, you get to place $125 worth of product for $75. I have never seen a deal that good. And today is the last day to do it. You can go to my blog and click on Join My Team and go ahead and sign up, or you can call me and I will walk through it with you. You place an order for $75. I mean, it's going to cost you like $83.08 or something. It's $80 and 83 cents, I think, was what it was for the last one. And so, but you get $125 worth of product. So pick out $125 worth of product and contact me. I would love to have you as part of my team. It is such a good deal. So that's cute. That worked. All right, so there's all three of them, guys. 1, 2, and 3. Which one is your favorite? Comment. Post which one you like. Chocolate, the stockings, or the holly. I would love to hear which ones you like the best. So, yeah, and if you're interested in signing up, getting that $75 worth, that $125 worth of product for $75, please contact me. You can locate me through stampwithdeb.com. I am so glad you joined me today, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.